Sit, sit, sit. Come on, come on, sit, sit. You know you can do it. Good girl. Hey fellow YouTubers, welcome back to Land of the Wombats. It's your bad old Uncle Chris here to share some off-grid pirate lifestyle stories. And here today we're going to tell a story about why drugs are bad. These two idiots about 3 years ago began to eat marsupial poo. Now that's like wombat poo and wallaby poo, and the marsupials have been around the country for a fair while, and they've adapted to eating some of the mushrooms. Now some of the mushrooms are psychedelic. So these two idiots, you are silly kelpies, were eating the poop and they were having psychedelic episodes. This is a really dumb idea. This one went into a brain lock, and she ran about 600 meters away, which is about a third of a mile down the hill. We had to go and chase her. The only way we caught her was because she was barking, and then she got to the beautiful Fernline Creek and was just running backwards and forwards like a crazy dog. Now this one here, she was eating the poop and having seizures. Neither are good. So as soon as we recognised it was from the mushrooms in the marsupial poop, we stopped them eating it, and they get no free time. Look at them. They're loving no free time, aren't you girls? Yeah. So the other thing we're doing is we've been down the forest edge just cleaning up the old loggers mess, because anyone who knows anything about forests and soils will realise that a whole bunch of forest loggers mess will grow all manner of mushrooms. Fungi eat trees. That's what they do. And they produce the little flowers that we see that some of them are edible for human consumption. Most of them aren't. They're probably pretty toxic in Australia. And yeah, so we've been at that work for about 3 years, and we're now within a couple of days of finishing it. So that's amazing. So, and it means these guys can have less problems here. And since we've actually kept an eye on them and restrained their behaviour and sort of cleaned up the mess down there, we haven't had any incidents, have we? So yeah, anyway, go chickens, go chickens, go, 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 go. That's kelpies for you.
Yeah, so each winter for the past 3 years, we've been cleaning up part of the loggers mess left in there. Now, the forests here were logged from about 1860 to about 1960, and then again for a couple of years after the 1983 bushfires. They were pretty bad fires, actually. About 70 people died across the state, so it certainly came up into this mountain range, and there were actually two fires in the mountain range at that time. One was up in this area and had been burning for weeks, and the worst one actually came from East Trentham, which is off to the west of here, and ripped up the western end of the mountain, and didn't actually make it this far because, well, the area had already been burnt. We were right on the edge of that both of those fires, so we've got some of the largest trees around actually, which is really good. But any of the damaged trees were actually harvested by the loggers, so they would have grabbed a couple of bulldozers, or maybe one bulldozer, and a lot of heavy duty chains, and they would have just pulled over the trees. And at one particular point in the property, they were processing the trees, and anything that they found, well, had a hollow or damaged core and they couldn't use it for milling purposes, they just sort of dumped it there. And you can look right in front of that one, and there are some huge trees down there, and some of them are pretty massive. Now, I've got a pretty powerful chainsaw. It's 5.3 horsepower, and there are bigger ones for sure. Some of the 90cc ones are probably more powerful, and they're about 7 horsepower. But yeah, it rips through into most of this stuff. It's pretty hard on me and pretty hard on the machine. You can see that is one of the biggest stumps I've ever encountered. That thing was a monster. It took 2 days to actually cut up and break apart and then burn off. It's some of the hardest timber I've ever dealt with. And I got in actually with the one of the blowers and actually cleared off all of the dirt off it. We also rehabilitate a lot of the land afterwards. You can see me with the rototiller just flattening out the lumps, and we also clean up the fire pits afterwards and start to replant them and add back soil minerals like seed husks and all sorts of things. We put grass seeds down there, and it all, yeah. It's pretty hard on me, pretty hard on the chainsaw. You can see the chainsaw was broken at that point in time. I had to strip it down and rebuild it. Yeah, but you get there in the end.
Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.